guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you? How's lockdown? Well, isn't it a beautiful day today? So as it is so beautiful, it would be rude not to put the barbecue on, wouldn't it? What's the point of having this beautiful sunshine if you can't enjoy it? So today I'm going to do something different to the other day. I did steak, as you know, with a few salads. Today's dinner is going to be a hot dinner, including all the sides. And actually, it's going to be a meal for four, even though there's only two of us, that you can do for under £5. And hopefully you will really enjoy it. So let's get started. The first thing I need to do is I've got a kilo of baby potatoes, 4.59p from Tesco's. So I'm going to pop those on to boil because I want those to be part boiled before I actually cook them on the barbecue, okay? And then the next thing I want to prepare is I've got a chicken here, and this was £2.50 I think it was from Tesco's. Now I normally go to the butcher's, but we're trying to avoid going shopping too much, so we're just going to one shop where possible. So I've got this little chicken. You've got legs there and a breast, so ample meat there for 4 people. And because I want to do it on the barbecue, if you leave it like that, that's fine. You can put a beer can up it and cook it in that way, but for us, to make sure it cooks through properly, we're going to make it a flatty, as they call it in South Africa, or spatchcock, you might have heard. Now you can buy them already made up in the shops, but they're a lot more expensive. You're talking about £5. So to get this and make it your own will cost pennies on top of the chicken. All right, so we're going to do that next. All right, so come with me. Right, so here is my chicken upside down, and you'll see it has a bone right through the middle there, and what you need is to snap that bone. So you've got a proper knife. You'll hear it crunch. It doesn't sound pretty. You do need a sharp knife and a bit of muscle. Okay, now the ones in the shop, they take the bone out. Okay, so I don't know if you can see the bone there. Okay, if you don't want to take the bone out, it's too much like hard work, it's fine, because what you can still do is make it a flatty with the bone in. All right, now I'm going to leave the bone on, and there's a reason for that, not because I'm being lazy and I can't be bothered, but actually I find the bone adds flavour to the meat as well. Okay, so everything else stays intact. You just need to flatten it with your hands. There you go, and you've got your own flatty. Now to give it some flavour, so let me just wash my hands quickly. Now we're not going to cook this for a couple of hours, okay, so I want this to stay marinating for a little while. And I've got here some garlic fry light. If you haven't got fry light, you can use oil if you're not in the swimming world. Okay, I'm just going to give it a good coating on this side, like that. Right, and then I've just got some chicken rub here. This is a pre-bought one, which I'm just going to give a generous coating on there. Okay. And then I'm going to pop some foil. Let me just move my knife out of the way for a second. On the bottom. Okay, and then I'm flipping it. Okay. And the reason I'm doing it on the floor is I don't want to lose the rub I've just put on. Okay. Okay, so do the same again on the top. Some garlic fry light. And I'm going to poke it now a few places. Okay, then I'm just going to get rid of that so I don't use it for something else by mistake. Just pop my rub on generously. In fact, I'm also using the rest of that. And then I'm just going to massage it into the skin, so it gets into those holes as well. Okay. Perfect. All right. And then all I'm going to do is wrap it in the foil. Let me just wash my hands again. Okay. Like so. And then to make sure the legs are covered, if you've got a bigger foil, even better, but I haven't. Okay. Right, So that's all wrapped up now. And I'm going to pop that back in the fridge to marinade until we need it. And what we'll do is we'll start it off like that on the barbecue, and then when it's almost cooked we'll take it off and then let it cook on the coals. With chicken you need to cook it for a long time on the barbecue, so if you put it on too early there's a danger it can look burnt. So this is a really good way of making sure it cooks without the skin burning. Alright, so I'll show you that when we start cooking it later, but I'm going to pop that to one side now. I'll just show you this as well actually. I've got this barbecue pan as well, which is a metal pan. It's got holes in the bottom, can you see? And this is a good thing to put on the barbecue as well because it stops the meat touching the fire as well directly underneath. So again, an extra protection. So let me put that to one side. I just need to disinfect this. Right, so now I'm going to start on my veg. I don't know if you can see that. I've got a old foil tray here. It looks grotty, but it isn't. Whenever I've had something that's had foil on it from the supermarket, I keep it for the barbecue. And it gets a bit battered, and the reason it goes to colour is because of the fire. But I use it every time. It is clean, so you haven't got to worry, okay? So what I'm going to do now even is start preparing some roast vegetables. And you can put whatever you like in here. So this is a different knife to my chicken knife, obviously. So I'm just going to nice big chunks. So I love courgette for this. Okay. Oops. And there. And if I'm having courgette, I have to have an aubergine. It's the law. Now this is a really good way of using any vegetables you've got left in your cupboards as well, but you need vegetables that are good for roasting, okay? Carrots are great, you just need to maybe blanch them for a few minutes before you put them in because they might take longer than the rest of the vegetables. And the whole idea of this even is that everything cooks at the same time, okay? And then I've got 2 peppers here which need using up. So again, just going to take the centres out. Okay, big chunks. Yep, leave the seeds on. There's nothing wrong with the seeds at all, they're all edible. That's done. And then an onion. I mean, this is so quick and easy, guys, to prepare. Why should you be in the kitchen for hours preparing things for a barbecue when you can do it so quickly? Okay, and again, big chunks. It doesn't have to look pretty. This is all about the flavouring. Okay, oops. Right. Okay, so that's there. Okay, so next thing I'm going to add is a packet of cherry tomatoes, and these are just the cheap ones from Tesco's. Okay, I'm going to add some garlic fry light. So if you haven't got this garlic fry light, you can add some garlic into this, or some chilli fry light, or anything you fancy, okay? Good smothering. And then I'm going to add some balsamic vinegar. Like so. And then I'm going to cover that with foil. That's it. Okay. And then we'll leave that until the barbecue's ready. And we'll pop that on. This will go on probably at the same time as chicken because this will probably take the same time as the chicken. Okay. So let's pop that to one side. Okay, and there's just one ingredient that you have to have at barbecue. Garlic bread, of course. And again, this is a 39p one from Tesco's. So, not an expensive one. Just got a last bit of fall off its roll. Just be enough, there we go. So that will go on the barbecue to cook as well. Okay, so that is everything ready. So we've got the garlic bread, the vegetables, and then we've got our flat chicken. All right, and all that has cost under £5. and that will feed your family for 4. All right, but what you want to see, I know, is what it looks like at the end and how we cook it. So I'll show you that. Right, so my barbecue has like a higher shelf here, and the coals are just starting to turn. You can see them going white down here. So it's not ready to put the meat on here, but because of this chicken, we want to cook it as slow as possible. I'm going to pop it on now, and I'm going to close the lid. And then we've got a temperature gauge there, so we'll just keep an eye on the temperature, and hopefully it will start cooking a bit like an oven. But the beauty of obviously doing it on the barbecue is you get the smokiness as well. So we'll get on with that. I'll probably put the vegetables on at the same time as well, so I need to go and grab those. Right, so I've put the vegetables on there as well, so I'm going to pop that down, and let's see what happens to the temperature. Right, so my potatoes are part cooked, and I'm just going to pop some sweet chilli sauce on it. So, not a lot, you don't need a lot. And then I'm going to cover those with foil, and they'll go on the fire as well towards the end. They don't need cooking, so they just need reheating through. And what should happen, hopefully, is that sweet chilli sauce will caramelise the potatoes as well. Okay. Right, we're now going for the flame grilled bit, and so I'm going to add some Nandos hot sauce. This is optional. Okay. And it'll just be like when you buy it from Nandos. Right, so this is a great reveal. So here is the veggies that have been on. Okay, so we've literally just put them on and left them. And then here is our sweet potatoes. Okay, so let's get rid of the foil. And then here we have the chicken. If I can show you. Look at that, that looks amazing. So just put that to one side there. And then the garlic bread. Unravel it, look, there you go. Cooked to perfection. And that's a meal for 4 for under £5. So we're going to enjoy this now, and we will catch you later. Okay, let's put that in there. All right. Right, so guys, you can hear the dishwasher on, which means we finished dinner. And I have to say that was the best chicken I have ever had on a barbecue. And I think the main reason was it was so moist when we served it. The trick I think is keep it in the full as much as possible. And we kept checking it, and we kept it high so the heat was going up, and our barbecue is such you can put the lid on. And then when we found it was cooked, we then moved it onto the coals itself. So you've got the flamed grilled effect. My voice is going, I don't know why. Flame grilled effect, and it was amazing. And we put the Nando's sauce on top and the bottom as we flicked it over, because it was so cooked it just fell apart. It was just amazing. You know, I'll be honest, we were a bit concerned that, you know, because it's fallen apart at that stage, when you flip it over and put it on the fire, it could dry, and it didn't, honestly. We've done chicken on the bright loads of times, and it's usually a shop bought flatty, especially in South Africa or whatever. And sometimes people feel, even my hubby, they need to put in the microwave for a little while, and we didn't, because I don't like the microwave, I'll be honest. And I think the trick is, when you're slow cooking it, the coals need to be quite, not cool, because I just need to start turning the white as I did, but on the highest level, and you just cook it long and slow. And then when you feel the meat's cooked, just move it onto the heat, and that's when you get the flame grill effect. and it was just divine. The vegetables were amazing. The sauce from the balsamic vinegar was great, and we kept dipping our garlic bread into that. It was lovely. The potatoes with the chili sauce, I'd like them more caramelised, but that's because we didn't take the lid off the tin foil. But as they cooled, the chili sauce sort of went sticky and the potatoes stuck together and it was so nice. So even though it didn't sort of caramelise as much as I'd like, they were still really nice. Now we're going to have those tomorrow for our braai tomorrow, which would be great, because what we'll do is we won't put the foil on it. We'll just stick it on the fire and we'll just let them cook and heat through. So actually the chilli will then sort of get really, really sort of sticky and caramelised. That'd be really good. And we're going to use the vegetables as well, because we've got half of them left, because there's 2 of us. And again, because there's so much juice there, they'll be divine. So we'll just reheat those on the barbecue tomorrow. I'm going to do steak. And I have got some wood, which has been soaked in bourbon even. I'm going to put those on. I'm going to wet them tomorrow morning and then put them on the coals, so that actually the smell will infuse the steak as well tomorrow. So I can't wait for that. So yeah, so as far as barbecues goes, that was amazing. And as I said at the beginning, it serves 4 people for less than £5. And I'll tell you one thing, guys, that's much better than sausage and burgers. It is. I'm sorry about the background noise, but that is definitely my dishwasher on. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Hope my voice lasts as a night. And if you did, don't forget to subscribe, notifications, give me a thumbs up. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Oh, share with your family and friends. Take care. Bye.